First we have Kelvin Lowe. I actually know Kelvin from GlobalFoundries, and now he's with Samsung. Kelvin joined Samsung in 2013 as Senior Director of Marketing for the company's foundry business. As an industry veteran, Mr. Lowe is responsible for developing the strategic product direction of the foundry, advanced process nodes, 28 nanometer and below. In addition, he's also working on the foundry ecosystem, which is what I do as well during the day. Prior to Samsung, Kelvin held technical positions and marketing positions at GlobalFoundries and Chartered. And he also was part of the IBM consortium that brought us the Samsung and the other foundries, 28 nanometer and 20 and 14 nanometer processes. Kelvin? Welcome.
Thanks, Danny, for the introduction. Somehow I need to make Samsung Foundry one of your friends, maybe a chapter in your book next time. Okay, I thought I'd start off with some market trends and where the trends could be heading. I saw some data earlier today on from the keynote speakers. I think a lot of the data is consistent, right? But let's start with this. This is a scene from a Papa Conclave back in 2005, right? A lot of people trying to watch the scene or the event. You can see one little user of the smartphone trying to take a photo with a flip phone. Right? Not too long ago, just last year, this has changed. In fact, you can see that, yeah, these are not candles. Right? These are just smartphones. Everyone taking a picture, right? And one even using a tablet to try to take a picture at Vatican City. So things have changed a lot. Right? I think these days, all of us carry phones for many users. We talk about smart applications, better user experience. I see a gentleman there trying to film a video as well using a phone. So it's becoming interesting, and it's changing actually the dynamics of the industry, right? Borrowing data from Gartner, on the left-hand side, you can see that the well-published trends where PC shipment is fairly stagnant in the last couple of years. Back in 2010, we already saw smartphones outshipping PCs. Okay? Gartner is expecting sometime next year the crossover between tablets now outshipping PC is probably going to happen. A lot of this is due to innovation. Innovation not only from process technology, which is an area I'm from in Samsung. Innovation also in products and usage of the products, right? At least in the smartphone industry, you see on the right, you see innovations like going from single CPU cores into dual, quad, and now octa cores, right? This is again possible because by expanding more functionality on the chip, you have to scale the technology down. So from 65 nanometer node all the way down to 28, and then at 28 nanometer, we had to innovate further from process technology angle. We had to introduce high-k metal gate. And then moving forward at 14, we're going to innovate further by introducing FinFET, which I'll briefly talk about later. So, however, what we are also observing is a concerning trend for the smartphone makers. We're starting to see the trend or the forecast moving forward. Again, data borrowed from IDC earlier this year, going down significantly. Right? We were hoping and expecting the China market actually to also prosper and help in the growth of the smartphone volumes and shipment. However, we're also starting to see again a projection of reduced or slowed down growth even in the China market. So many have been thinking, including of course Samsung, device division, what's next? I think no prize for the guests here. Just a three-letter word, IoT, right? Small word, but means a lot. In fact, IoT is not a new, I would say, trend. Again, borrowing a data from Google trend. It started, in fact, way back in 2009, right? However, what's changed is the intense pickup of IoT in terms of shipment of devices related to that segment, only fairly recently, right? And also, you can see on this slide is the change in the smartphone trend, all the way up, and now in 2014, starting to see a slowdown and in fact an inverted trend. So really, connectivity, user experience, as we talk about new application, able to predict where, for example, what you want to do. A lot of this will translate to, I think, the unit volume of devices, right? the proliferation of these devices, you can see that, again, borrowing another data from IDC here, 7 billion connected devices last year, right? Mainly in the familiar applications that we have, phones, tablets, laptops, and others. However, come to 2020, we're looking into more than 200 billion connected devices, okay? From things like the thermostat, from thermostats all the way to other applications, to a baby feeding bottle even. Right? So that translates to huge opportunities for a lot of us here in this room, right? From the sales number, a number quoted was almost $9 trillion sales forecast. So a huge market opportunity for all of us to enjoy. So I'll go straight to what Samsung Foundry is doing to help enable this segment, enable device and application makers like you. Actually, IoT, there's a lot of, we could actually sub-segment it further. In fact, I've been advocating to many about how do we actually sub-segment this. IoT, again, is a very small word, but very broad in terms of interpretation, right? But a few enablers, at least from the process technology angle. Price, very sensitive, price-sensitive applications. It has to be connected. There must be good coverage, including cloud coverage. And in the infrastructure side, big data is extremely important. All of this has to happen with power efficiency, whether it's low power or whether it's in standby or in operation, right? Again, all of this is critical for the IoT segment. Without going into too much details, Samsung Foundry have device solutions addressing all of these areas, right? In the mobile and wireless, we have what we call 28 nanometers and 14. Networking to support big data, we are pushing out interesting solutions at 14 nanometer. Internet of Things, I'll explain why we think 28 nanometer is a sweet spot node in moving forward. So 28 nanometer, again, very well published, discussed. I'm borrowing a data point from IBS on the left. Cost of transistors. I think this is the first time we are starting to see a inverted cost of transistors. We have been enjoying from the process technology flow scaling down, let's say from 0.13 all the way down to 28. Every node we have been enjoying die economics. We are actually now seeing a inversion. So post 20 nanometer node, the cost of transistors is going up, right? It is very challenging. One major contributing factor here is from the process technology side, you used to be doing single patterning or lithography step. To enable and to continue more transistors per unit area, we had to go into double patterning, meaning multiple runs. That will result in the cost of manufacturing to increase. Okay? For those who are familiar with process technology, you may have heard about EUV or extreme UV. That is touted to help us again regain back the cost of transistor scaling. So, but for the meantime, EUV is further pushed out. Technology is difficult. The throughput is one of the challenges that we are seeing from from the tool developers. We have to now think about other innovations to manage the cost of transistor scaling. Design cost is also another aspect. We are addressing an exponential increase also in design cost, partially related to the more innovations that we are introducing in the process technology area. Yeah. So, just going straight to what we are offering at 28 nanometer, we have a couple of offerings that we are giving out to the customers. We are already in mass production for what we call 28 LPES. It is a polysilicon oxynitride technology that had been used before. We also introduced high-k metal-gate, as I mentioned earlier on in my talk. At 28 nanometer, we have two flavors, one we call 28 low power plus or LPP. We also have another called 28 LPH or low power high performance. To enable customers who are intending to have connectivity in their applications, we introduced RF. So 28 LPP has also the RF applications that you see on the right hand side. More recently, we have been working with ST, and we actually have announced a partnership with ST to introduce and to make 28 FDSOI available to the marketplace. Right? We see this technology as very promising. In fact, from some benchmarking work that we have done, it is capable to provide almost 20 nanometer performance at the right cost point. So again, I emphasize on cost because in IoT applications, especially wearables or consumer-related applications, cost is a dominant factor. Yeah. So on the server and networking side, power performance important, power efficiency especially important. So whether it's computing power or low power or even form factors. In that area, we are launching and have launched actually 2 versions of 14 nanometer FinFET. Again, I can go through a lot more details, but I will share it briefly, and I will stay back after the talk to maybe if there's interest to discuss this further. Starting with the 14 LPE, we are already qualified. We have already qualified this technology. We actually have also shared that we have customer products already in production today, running in the fab. Our next version, based on more innovations from the process technology development teams, we launched 14 LPP, which 14 low power plus. That will be qualified sometime early next year. We are already actively getting design wins in this area. Design wins from multiple different market segments, from networking all the way to mobile computing related applications. So why FinFET? Just one simple slide to explain is it's really managing power, right? A lot again of the wearable device battery is one key considerations. How do we close the gap between the performance requirement and the power budget that's limited by battery life, right? FinFET will provide some of these benefits. And you can see here again from a, let's say, 28 nanometer technology to a 3D device like a FinFET, you get substantial performance improvement. Just highlighting one data point, like 28 on the 28 LPP with 1X, with FinFET you get 40% boost, and with 14 LPP we're getting another 14% boost, right? Conversely, if you look at power, we see significant reduction, as well as chip area, again we see significant scaling. So I thought that the best way to conclude is to show you something, a simple video, a short video, about innovations in many areas that helps in enriching our user experience. Some of these actually are not too far out. Okay, so maybe I'll let you enjoy the video. Okay, I hope you like that. Not too far away. Hopefully we didn't mistake it.